AdamHarry here with a very special guest.
It's Michael from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
That's right. Normally we do Tabletop Spotlight.
True.
But today we're doing a little different video.
Yeah, we had this fancy little box full of Shadow War Armageddon stuff that I thought might be fun to bring by, and we can all take a look and see what we got here.
So just a little heads up, if your FLGS is participating, most of them are with
like
the Shadow
Dragon's
War.
Lair is.
Dragon's Lair is totally doing that. They were kind enough to come by. They brought over the manager's guide and some useful information.
Yeah.
Most stores are also getting a preview copy of the rule set.
Yeah. This is the full rulebook here.
Yep.
You can see right there. Got some special cards. This manager's guide is part of the organized play kit that, like Adam said, most of the stores who participate, which should be most stores who sell GW, will get something like this. It has all the information that stores need to run events for Shadow War.
Yep.
But you know, there's some useful stuff just to see it in there anyway.
So we're actually not going to go through the rulebook today, but we do want to show off some of the cards that you'll be able to check out.
The commissars.
The commissar. Uh-oh.
Ho-ho.
So just how these cards work, they have basically picture on the front of the model and then some stats.
Yeah, you got your stat line for Shadow War on the back.
Warrior options.
Really convenient, actually.
Yeah. So, and it's any special rules, so which is cool.
And this, it's worth noting, these are not all the cards, obviously, that exist. These are just the ones that came with this kit.
It's true.
Like, there will probably, I presume, be cards that GW puts out for other forces. It seems
like it'd be pretty easy to do.
Yeah, because they're doing that for like Sigmar armies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But putting out those data cards might be useful.
So these data cards are, again, these came with the OP kit, right? The organized play kit.
Just quick reference stuff for players.
Cool. So what all is with the manager's guide here? So first off, this again just for the managers. It's just what's going on inside.
How to run the event.
How to run the event.
This is super useful though. If you're interested in Shadow War Armageddon, this chart here, depending on what force you want to play, tells you basically what boxes are worth picking up. So, for example, for me, I want to play Tau, so I'll buy a Pathfinder team, and you can make your whole kill team based off that.
Yeah, a lot of these too are great for aside from being the obvious, like, oh, I'm gonna play Necrons. Yeah, I do want to pick up a box of Warriors. What if I want to do some conversion options? Maybe check out an Immortals or Death March box or the Lich Guard box.
Yeah, that's the
which
thing.
are also options, by the way.
And that's the thing. You know, say you want to play, you know, Dark Eldar, Witches, Scourges, you know, all these different boxes you can probably convert and get bits from to make your kill team sort of your own. Yeah. So.
But these are just recommended boxes to check out.
This manager's guide, like you said, is mostly just stuff for store TOs and people who run events to know, but you know, this chart's really useful, so I want to show that off for sure.
And they recommend 4x4 playing areas. Again, it's a smaller scale game because it is a skirmish game. And it's a very vertical game too. Yeah. So
absolutely.
Anyway, let's move on from there.
We got the fun stuff now.
We do have some fun stuff. So we've got all of the available factions.
They don't come in the
box. In the box.
Yeah, there's no Orcs or Space Marines here because those come in the starter box.
It's true.
This is basically everything else though.
We're gonna show off a couple of these. We're not gonna show all of them off.
Couple, yeah.
Which one do you want to do? I want to do Tyranids.
Well, I want to do Tau.
Well, I think that's what we're gonna do. So we got Necrons,
guys.
So Tau, Pathfinders. Just to give you a heads up, Genestealer Cult Hybrid teams, Dark Elf Witch Cult teams, Craftworld Eldar kill teams, Harlequin Troop kill teams, Chaos Space Marine kill teams, Grey Knight kill teams, Skitarii Ranger kill teams. You get the idea. There's a ton of stuff in there. But sorry, we're not showing all those off.
We'll show off our two favorites.
Two favorites. So we'll start with Michael's. Let's go with your kill team. Cool. So this is a rules reference.
That's
by
just
the way.
Yeah, it's a quick reference to the rules. Same stuff, but so basically these are laid out. They're all 3-panel, double-sided.
6 pages.
6 pages of information. Which, you know, if you're not interested in buying the big 40K rulebook and all the supplements and codex, you want to play a smaller game. That's it right there.
Yeah. Now, just a side note, we don't know if these are going to become available later for purchase. But again, if your store is participating, they should have a copy. Yeah. And they're supposed to be something that players can look at.
Presumably either cards or in a format like this.
Right.
Also maybe another book with all this information, like extra kill team rule stuff. But anyway, you get the idea. These are all sort of laid out the same way. You get your special rules for your army. So for a Pathfinder team, for example, you get the supporting fire rule, which is probably my favorite rule in all of 40K. It's so useful all the time.
It is.
But it tells you what it's made up of. So for example, a Pathfinder kill team, 3 to 10 models, including up to 3 drones, which is exactly what the kit
comes with a box.
Shockingly. It's great how it works like that.
Also, side note, I know this from already looking at some of the rules. A kill team consists of 1,000 points worth of stuff. If you were a Necromunda player, that was 1,000 credits. They've basically swapped out points for the word credits.
And you can see here in these stat sheets we'll get to in a second. Each one has its point cost right there. So 140 points for a Shazwi, 60 points for an average Pathfinder.
Cadet. They have
50
the
for a cheaper cadet,
or a Juve if you want to call
and
them.
60 for a specialist who can carry stuff like ion rifles or rail rifles. So
speaking of which, let's flip over to the next page and we'll take a look at.
Next page here is going to give you
more stuff you can
drones you can
hire.
put in. Drones actually more expensive than I thought. Recon drone is really useful, but it's 110 points. So
yeah,
really got to see if it's worth it. You get your point costs for weapons as well. So if you want, different weapons than your thing comes with.
Yeah,
there you go.
So you can actually, and it'll say basically with the stats, it'll say this warrior has options from these things you can buy from here, so you can buy from there.
Yeah,
and then weapon profiles and everything like that. What's interesting about this? Let's go through a basic weapon here. We got a pulse carbine.
Yeah, this is the thing that all the Pathfinders come equipped with, this is what's interesting actually. This is a Pathfinder team. Pathfinders have pulse carbines.
They do.
They also have rules for pulse rifles.
Ooh.
Which, makes sense because there's other options here. There's like a fire blade you can put in your team, which we'll get to in a second. And they carry pulse rifles, but they have all the weapon options you can use right here.
Cool.
A Pathfinder can't use a fusion blaster, but a stealth suit can.
Yeah.
So that's right there.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Honor staff, so spoilers if you know who carries those. It's ethereals.
Bingo.
Pistols, you get your carbine and your rifle.
Just to show off too, I want to show the weapon stats. There's a short and long range for all the weapons.
Right there.
There's a to-hit modifier, so short and long.
Carbine has none.
Carbine has none. Do you have any bonuses?
Yeah, the rail rifle has a -1.
-1 at short.
So that's a sniper weapon for real far away.
The fusion blaster, for instance, has a +1 hit at short. And those I've seen anywhere from -2 to +2, so it kind of changes.
Depends on the weapon.
You have a strength value and the damage. So you're going to roll strength versus toughness just like we're all used to. And then if they fail that and fail their armor save, they take an amount of damage. And the damage hits their wound stat. So if you only have one wound, you take
rail
one damage.
rifle's pretty tough. That's strength 6 and D3. So if you hit with that one, you have a pretty good chance of taking somebody out.
Oh yeah. The armor mod is to the target's armor mod. So if you have a 3-up save like you're in power armor and you get hit, say with a pulse carbine, you have a -2 to your save, meaning you have a 5-up
equivalent to a 5-up save. So it's a lot like Age of Sigmar's Rend mechanic. So they're sort of combining that, which is
This is all Necromunda, by the way, just with new weapons, obviously.
And then you have your
ammo roll.
Ammo rolls.
Ammo roll is a 2d6 roll. So these weapons with a 4-up are actually pretty reliable. These weapons with an 8-up are actually
ion rifle not reliable at all.
Only if you roll a 6 do you take an ammo check, though. So there's a 1 in 6 chance that you're going to hit, but you're going to run out of ammo. So there is that.
There's all your weapon options. And it, like I said, all the stuff for all the weapons. On the back here, we have different stuff like grenades and special equipment.
Which we're not going to go through all of it. But you can see
as
here.
examples. I mean, you can equip a marker light on somebody, which helps you, as in 40k, ignore cover or get bonuses.
There was one more thing. Can we flip back to the close combat weapons real quick? I want to show this real fast. If you notice here, close combat, how it works in Necromunda and how it works in this game is some weapons have a damage or a strength modifier and a save mod. If a weapon has a dash on the save mod, then you use the strength mod to modify the armor save. So for example, if you have a 4 strength, you're going to generate a -1 to the target's armor save. If you have a 5 strength, it's -1, -2, etc. There's a chart. This is old school 2nd edition Warhammer 40k as well. They don't stack. So you don't get the -2 from the strength and the -2 from the mod. You take the higher of whichever one's better.
Makes sense.
That's important because weapons like a power axe have a +3 strength to the user with a dash as the save mod. So you're going to add, it's going to be a 7th strength. I think that's a -3 or 4. I think it's a 4.
4. Should be 4.
Should be a -4 to your armor save. So just a heads up.
On the back, like we said, we have some special equipment, grenades, obviously, some special equipment for the army. So like I said, marker lights, drones, armor basically just tells you what your armor save is. And then moving on further into the back, you get your special operatives, which every army should have. Special people beyond your basic troops. For example, the Tau have stealth suits, fireblade, and ethereals, of course, which
is pretty cool.
I personally wouldn't bring an ethereal into this game because once they get killed, the kill team has to take a bottle test at the start of their next turn.
Bottle tests are a lot like leadership checks, but it's for your whole squad, and if you fail one, you're out. Which is not always a bad thing. Necromune is different. Some games you want to lose on purpose just so you can get your guys out of the injury chart.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then there's also a bunch of skills that you can have.
Yep.
And which skills you're gonna have access to as your squad kind of levels up.
And like we said, your troops have different roles. You know, your troopers like your basic Pathfinder specialists, like your weapons guys, and your leader, for example, your Shazwi or your Fireblade.
And those skill tables are going to be found in the rulebook. So
they're also they're all on these armies things, but the rulebook will have all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that is the Tau one. Let's take a look at the Tyranid one.
I'm excited about
Tell
this
me
one.
all about the Hive Fleet.
Let me tell you of the Tyranid. Yes, Tyranids. This is exciting for me just because Tyranid warriors are not exactly known for being the best option in the Tyranid Codex. So this book actually gives
you a reason to play them.
Yeah, this game gives me a reason to dust them off, basically. But you have the Tyranid Alpha, the Tyranid warrior, a Tyranid new spawn, which is a warrior, but it's on their first cycle, so they're new.
It's the
new
guys.
And then you have a Tyranid Gun Beast, which is essentially a specialist. So this guy gets access to kind of the slightly larger bio weapons and stuff like that. You do have Synapse, so that's gonna
no fear of terror tests.
Yep, which is nice because this game has both fear and terror, which I'm sure there's a whole new generation of gamers that are gonna get reacquainted with terror because oh boy, let me tell you, Tyranid warrior
only
kill
3
team
to 5 models.
Only 3 to 5 models, but again, these guys are 200.
They're
points
warriors. Like,
yeah,
these aren't like gaunts.
they have 3 wounds each. Like
yeah,
that's something.
My poor Pathfinders only have 1.
It gives you all their special rules. Again, the Tyranid has more than 2 pairs of arms and carries a handed weapon. So you roll extra attack dice, and they get into all that stuff.
In any mission that allow Orc Boys kill teams to field additional models like Raid or Hit and Run, subtract 2 from the random number of models that take part for a Tyranid warrior kill team. Interesting.
Yeah, so just less models because you're bringing warriors, basically.
Interesting.
And the disarm combat skill has no effect on Tyranid fighters because their weapons are part of them.
Yeah.
So
you literally have to take off their arms and they get a lot.
You have to de-arm them.
Yeah, you have to unarm them.
Yeah, something like that. Let's flip it over to this page.
See what you got for some weapons.
So one of the things too I want to call out is all of these sheets are slightly different in terms of layout because I don't have the same kind of stuff. Actually, yeah, if you flip yours open, exactly. There's those.
There's all my extra drones and stuff like that.
And stuff. Here's obviously, all my biomorph lists.
Don't have drones.
Yeah.
At least not in the same sense.
Yeah. But you can see here, one of the things we'll go talk about as well is the basic bioweapons. The Death Spitters, one of the more popular Tyranid warrior options. It has a short and long range modifier, or short and long range again, and then to hit, it just dashes for modifier. It is strength 5 with 1 damage, and it has a -1 armor save. So this one actually, you're not going to use the strength 5
You'll
use the -1 save. So
it fires maggot-like organisms with corrosive innards. That's horrifying.
Yeah, and
I don't want any part of it.
Sustained Fire Dice 1, which a lot of folks are probably wondering what the heck a Sustained Fire Dice is.
Tell me.
It's a 1 to 3 dice with a jam on it as well. So if you roll a jam, it takes a turn to clear. It's all in the rules. So yeah, that's old school right there. Biocannons are back.
Barbed Strangler?
Yeah.
My god, these all sound horrifying.
You've never played against
I've never played against Tyranids.
Let me tell you, they have some fun stuff. Bone swords. They're all symbiotic weapons, so it's pretty crazy.
Makes sense.
Flip it over real quick. We'll look at the back. We'll look at this one first.
Biomorphs?
More biomorphs.
It's like Animorphs, but...
It's but worse.
I don't know. Animorphs is pretty messed up.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure biomorphs came first though.
Maybe.
So, anyway.
It's entirely possible.
Acid blood, adrenal glands, all this stuff we're used to.
Carapace.
Yeah, you get a +5 armor. Extended, you get a 4-up armor, which is nice. Flesh hooks lets you climb terrain, so you treat wall or barrier no more than 2 inches high as difficult terrain instead of impassable. So you can
Spider-Man.
Yeah, totally. Toxin sacks, it's just bad to wound you with. You also
abilities?
Zonothrope. Wait, what? I didn't see Zonothropes. That's because they're on this page.
I wouldn't know what it's like to use psychic abilities.
Yeah, I wouldn't either with Zonothropes. Womp womp. Warp charges. Raveners are a specialist operative option. The Zonothropes are, and so is an additional Tyranid Prime. So again, we have the Alpha here.
250 for that.
This is a Tyranid Prime who's different.
Apex of Tyranid warrior strain.
Yeah, if you notice too, his stats are slightly higher than the Alpha. So, yeah.
Of course, you got your skills here as well. Tyranid Primes cause terror. So
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And then, of course,
Prime is down and out of action. The enemy kill team scores D3 additional Promethium. So that's interesting. So really worth focus firing on that guy.
Yeah, well, this is a spoiler alert too, but there's missions that require you to bring a special operative, and if you're required to bring one, it'll say in the mission, and you can pick your operative. Yeah, long story. But I'm just focusing on this right now. The skills chart. There you go. There's your skill chart. What you have access to as a level up. If you notice, can you bring the Talon back over real fast? Again, what makes this game interesting from a kind of bookkeeping perspective is the armies play differently based on the skills you have unlocked.
Obviously, like Tau, not big in combat. Really good at guerrilla fighting though, because that's the Pathfinder thing.
Yep. Tyranids, on the other hand, great in close combat, and they're kind of ferocious. Not the best shooters. They're okay. They got two.
They got all day for shooting and stealth.
Shooting and stealth. Not so much on the stealth over here. And they're not really big on agility or guerrilla tactics.
I love that I have 0 muscle. That's so appropriate for Tau. This is the fire cast.
Tyranids
We don't have muscles.
Yeah. So it kind of determines how you level up. How you're gonna. It's weird. How you level up randomly will help determine how your gang, or excuse me, kill team functions later on down the road. Yeah. So it can force you to play out of your comfort zone, I think.
Yeah.
So pretty cool stuff. And again, there's a ton more of those to check out. You have the rules reference here.
I do. I have to say, I actually really do love this art on the front.
I do too.
Just this guy just like screaming back at this orc, this poor scout.
He just punched him.
You know, just hanging out. Orc will probably just rip his head off in a second, but that's, you know.
I don't know, man. He straight up just punched him.
He is a scout. You know, they're pretty fast.
He got the Gene Seed upgrades. So. Actually, I think the Space Marine Scouts are going to be really scary.
Well, those sniper rifles are nasty.
Sniper rifles are nasty. The couple of fact with all of them can take bolters, bolt pistols, close combat weapons. They're just going to be really well armed, and their stats are slightly above average, so they're going to be better, you know, just than your general orc.
Better than the average bear,
basically. Anyway, quick rules reference.
Different missions here.
They do have different missions. There's campaign. This is a campaign-based game. Ideally, you're gonna play.
Which is the whole point of the organized play.
Right. After mission roundups, different. A lot of this stuff is going to be familiar if you played Necromunda. There's a lot of transferring of ideas, with a slight shift. It's not exactly the same, but it is very, very close.
The injury tables, and then you break down your turn, basically.
Yep.
So, pretty simple stuff.
This goes over the basic roll to hit and wound charts, all that fun stuff. How to do ammo rolls. Again, it's a 2d6 roll. And whenever you roll a 6, bottle test with leadership, things like that. We've seen all this stuff before. Hand-to-hand combat.
Yep.
Again, this is the armor modifier. This chart shows you how the armor save is based on the attacking model's strength.
Yep. Poor ethereals, their strength 3, no modifier.
No mod. No, or you go by the weapon mod if there is one. So, but you don't stack them. I want to make that very clear.
Yeah, your breakdown of all your should be all the weapons that you can use from the starter box.
Yep.
Which is just marine and orc weapons.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but that's basically the core rules in a nutshell. Again, these are the reference rules. You will need the rule book for the full rundown. But
this rule book specifically.
We're going to do that later on just because we've already spent a lot of time on this stuff. But all of this stuff that we just showed off, again, will be available in participating local gaming stores. And if your store sells Games Workshop, there's a really good chance they're going to have it.
Yep.
So go bug them about it. Go to the store
and
talk to them about Shadow War Armageddon. Get hype.
Hype.
Well, I know I'm pretty pumped about this one.
I've already got my Pathfinders. Already buying them and getting them put together.
I'm dusting out my Tyranid Warriors for sure. So we're ready to play. So, all right, man. Well, thanks for coming by. Thanks for bringing this stuff. I'm Adam here from BoLS.
I'm Michael with Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
Thanks again for watching, guys. Have a good one.